first off, I want to thank everyone for joining our webinar today. We are super happy to have one of our customers here on the call. Richard from 212 Staffing is our guest speaker. He's going to tell us a little bit about how his whole company really gets involved in customer service for his organization, and really how he's using Desk.com to help wow their customers. So good to have you here, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we really want to make this a two-way dialogue, so feel free to interact with us during this webinar. You can send us a tweet during and after the show, and please mention us so that we can capture all of your questions. We'll then, at the end, open the floor up for some Q&A after we speak with Richard so that we can also get all of your questions answered as well. If you can't make it through the whole thing with us, don't worry. We'll send you a copy afterwards. There's also a chat box on the right-hand side of your GoToWebinar panel. Feel free to answer your questions in there, and we'll get to it at the end. So before we begin, just a word from our lawyers. This is our safe harbor statement. Essentially, because we're a publicly held company, we just want to tell you that any purchasing decisions that you make today should be made based on currently available technology. And if you want to read any further, this is available on our website. So without further ado, let's get started. Here's our agenda for today. Let's start off, we're going to start off by introducing Desk and introducing some of the challenges that small businesses are facing with customer service. And then we'll have Richard talk a little bit about 212 Staffing and how they're really disrupting the recruiting industry. We'll then discuss why 212 Staffing switched from a competitive product over to Desk.com. And more importantly, this is my favorite part, the benefits that Rich is seeing now for his support team. And like I mentioned, don't forget to stay till the end because we have a live Q&A after the webinar. Like I said, we're super excited to have Richard from 212 Staffing here with us today. He is the founder of 212 Staffing and also the managing consultant who's responsible for the customer experience. Welcome again, Richard.
Thank you very much for having me.
So before we dive into the interview with Richard, what I want to do is explore some unique challenges that small support teams are facing. And this is basically illustrating what life was for Richard at his company before he switched over to Desk.com. Many small businesses feel that there's an overwhelming influx of customer demands that are coming in. For example, a lot of them are using a shared Gmail, and they're feeling the stress of an overflowing inbox. Not being able to turn around cases and answer to customers right away, or picking up these social interactions that your customers are having with you on social channels like Facebook and Twitter or LinkedIn. But to wrap it up, basically, it's just small support teams are just drowning with customer demands with really no centralized place to keep track of all the cases that are coming in from all different angles. And there are some consequences to it if you don't find the right tool to help you manage your customer support. For example, customers are falling through the cracks. There's no single knowledge source, and your agent can be saying different things to different customers, and the inconsistency of these answers really does not give your customers a good experience. And lastly, we know that small support teams have limited budget and almost always no IT resources. So there really isn't an IT partner to help set anything up. And these problems are problematic because at the end of the day, your customers at the finish line is really unhappy about your customer service. And Desk.com really is designed to help small business overcome some of the challenges that I just mentioned. Desk.com is an all-in-one customer support app specifically designed for the needs of these small businesses. This app contains all of the service features that you would need for a small support team in order for you to provide quality customer service. And how are we doing that? The first thing is that it's extremely easy to get set up. Our customers see, I think there's an average of setup day from 1 to 3 days, so you really don't have to involve the IT department, and all the setup is out of the box. There's also a universal inbox where you can handle all of your customer cases, regardless of what channels your customers are talking to you from. So you think about the traditional channels like email or questions coming in from your website or the phone. All of that is managed in one centralized place. And then you add on the new non-traditional channels like social, so Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Everything comes into one inbox so that everyone in your organization can easily jump into Desk and start interacting with your customers. In Desk.com, we also have built-in productivity tools to really enable your agents to work more effectively and smartly. Later, we'll hear from Rich all his favorite productivity tools and how he's using them to really answer to cases faster and resolve cases faster. And lastly, integration is really easy. Because we are part of the Salesforce family, it's extremely easy for you to connect your CRM data into your Desk.com instance and also vice versa, to be able to see your cases in Salesforce. And what's great is that all of our customers see the value of switching to Desk almost immediately. We are helping them by reducing their support costs, allowing them to close cases faster, and really increasing their agent productivity so that in the end, their customer satisfaction score will increase. So now that we have a high-level understanding of some of the challenges that small support teams are facing and what Desk.com is designed to do, let's have an informal interview with Richard, one of our customers, to hear some of his support team challenges prior to using Desk.com and really how he was able to find the right help desk solution to help him deliver amazing customer service. So Richard, to start, can you tell us a little bit about 212 Staffing in your company?
Absolutely. So 212 Staffing has been around for approximately 10 years. We are a group of recruiting companies that have all been amalgamated under one brand name. We currently operate in the US, the UK, Middle East, and also in Asia Pacific. We're a multidiscipline recruiter. That means that we cover everything from pharmaceutical and healthcare through engineering, IT technology, sales, marketing. We pretty much, if you think of any possible job that a person can hold, we pretty much recruit all of those positions, both on a temporary and a permanent basis.
And how do you feel like your company is being a disruptor in your industry? I know recruiting historically has been a stale industry, so how are you doing it differently?
So we're very smart in making sure that we're aware of what the latest technology is out there and really using different tools to our advantage. I think anyone who's ever been on the job-seeking end has dealt with the frustration of registering with a recruiter and perhaps never hearing from them again, or needing an update on what's happening with their job search and not getting that information in a timely fashion. And oftentimes that isn't because the recruiter doesn't have an interest in making sure that the candidate can secure a new position. It's more likely because they have too much on their plate and they just don't have the tools at hand to be able to stop things falling through the crack. And that really is where we found when we were shopping the market for a support solution, that was our biggest pain point. And that's where we wanted to disrupt the market, was to say, okay, clients who pay our bills are, equally as important to us as those people who come to us and register looking for work, because without candidates, we don't have a business. And really it was us saying we need to show more respect to those people who have the talent that enable us to keep our lights on. So let's try and find some technology solutions that will enable us to make sure they get a better experience.
Interesting. So I know you were using a different customer support app. Can you outline some of the challenges that you were facing before switching over to Desk?
Absolutely. So you spoke to some of the points, pain points that we've experienced. For instance, when we first started, we were using a universal email box. And by universal, I mean everyone had access to one Gmail account. And that really wasn't conducive to us giving the best level of service, because you would have multiple email strings, multiple people managing, and not really having a full history of the interaction.
That's great. So we can go over in details how you're, using some of the productivity tools and all the great features that Desk.com has to offer. But before we begin, I just want to say that we're, from the Desk.com team, extremely glad to see that you're seeing an improvement on your end after switching to Desk. To summarize, I think Desk really has helped you streamline customer service so that at the end of the day, you're delivering a consistent customer experience to both your recruiters and job seekers. And I think here are some pretty telling stats. The second bullet here, because of the tools that we have that's built into the interface, your agents are able to push cases further through the support cycle 15 times faster than some of your peers that's in the industry. So speed and agility is really key here.
That's correct. And that for us definitely was a pain point, is making sure that we're able to respond to people in a timely fashion, and that is something that this has allowed us to do.
Yeah, and I guess that's completely a great transition into the next bullet, is that prior to Desk.com, it took an average of 4 days to respond to customers versus now, because you have everything in one place and you can easily get to it, it reduced to an hour.
That's correct.
Okay, so let's get into the details. This is actually a screenshot of the agent interface, and this is the console that every agent sees when they log in. So, Richard, I know you told me that ease of use and usability was very important during your evaluation process when you were looking for the right help desk solution for your organization. Tell me why you love our tool and why you love the interface here.
It's very simplistic. We migrated to a competitor product previously to using you, and it was very difficult to understand what stage certain cases were at and who was interacting with it. So when we were looking for a new solution, what I love about Desk.com is that it's a very clean, crisp user interface. At first glance, you can straight away see what's happening with every single case, whether it's open, whether it's pending, what channel it came through, and the different ways that we use the different tools within Desk to be able to route and manage those cases. I don't need to be asking questions of my staff as to what's happening with each support case.
Yeah, and how many agents do you have again? Can you remind me?
So at the moment we have 3 full-time agents. We are in the process of scaling up to 25 agents in the coming months, and that really is to support business growth. And then we also have flex users as well.
Got it. And then as you scale your support team, I would imagine it's because you have an increasing demand from your customers. Do you feel like you're going to stay with Desk, or you're going to find another solution that can help you scale?
We're incredibly impressed with Desk. It also helps that it's part of the Salesforce family and integrates with the other solutions that we have from Salesforce. But certainly, when I shop for solutions, customer service is key. And you guys eat your own dog food, to use a terminology from technology. You certainly provide excellent service, and that's what we look for whenever we're looking for a new partner. So we have every intention of staying with Desk.
Okay, so it sounds like you're using other products within the Salesforce family. So I would imagine our CRM tool, and it looks like you're using Pardot for marketing. Tell me a little bit about how they all connect to each other and why you think it's important for support to connect with your sales team and your marketing team and basically everyone that's in your organization.
I think there's a history of businesses where different departments use different tools, and you don't really get visibility into what one department's doing or a certain interaction that may have happened with the customer before they came to support. So for us, what's great about Desk is its tight integration with applications such as Pardot and with Salesforce itself and a range of other solutions that we use. It's really helpful for us. It doesn't matter what role you're doing in our business, you can get total visibility into every interaction. So if I'm working within sales, I can see all the support cases that have happened and make sure that I address those issues and reinforce the support that was given to that particular candidate. Similarly, in marketing, I can see if there was a ticket open to say, remove me from your email marketing list. So in terms of how Desk operates as a product, it certainly gives us that total visibility across the business without stuff falling through or without people and challenges and tasks falling through the cracks.
Got it. And so let me give you a real-life case scenario just to illustrate this point more. So let's say you have one of your sales representatives out talking to a recruiter. If they're on their mobile phone and they want to see if this recruiter has ever submitted any cases or needed support, they're able to see it on their mobile phone.
Absolutely, and that's one of the main reasons why we chose your solution. Was we evaluated a number of other solutions that offered a mobile application, and it really didn't compare to the functionality that your product offers on the mobile device.
Good to hear. I will make sure I pass it on to our product and engineering team.
Thank you.
So putting a phone in Desk, I would imagine a lot of job seekers call in and they have a lot of questions. How do you ensure that phone and telephony is part of the integration with Desk?
So we actually shopped a couple of providers, and we also contacted your support team to ask what products you integrate with that would enable us to be able to open cases from inbound telephone calls. And we came across a great product called TalkDesk and Twillo that enables us to directly integrate into Desk.com, meaning that, recruiters are oftentimes, and my team are oftentimes on the phone for extended periods of time, and, there's only a finite number of us. So having telephony integrated directly into Desk allows us to be able to open cases on missed calls straight away. It pulls up the record of who that person was that called in. And we've been able to surprise a lot of people by calling them straight back as soon as we're free to say, listen, we're sorry we missed your call. How can we help you? So the telephony integration allows us to create cases directly within Desk. It enables us to action voicemails that are left within Desk, and it stops people having to take manual notes and sending emails. And again, it covers the issues of things falling through the cracks. That simply just doesn't happen with the telephony integration for us.
Yeah, what about agent productivity? Now that this is a great tool, people don't have to type in cases and log calls. Have you seen your agents become more productive and work through cases faster?
Absolutely. We actually, not to go off topic, but we had a spike in cases yesterday. If that had been on email, we probably would still be addressing that today. But we were able to deal with a 6-time increase in cases yesterday by the fact that it's automated, that it creates cases as soon as we receive the emails or telephone calls or tweets, and we were able to resolve many of those cases on the first instance of dealing with that person.
Oh, that's amazing. Just really allowing you to be agile. Cool. So let's move on to some of the tools that you love using. I know you were telling me about labels and workflows that you use pretty often to really automate some of your cases so that you can work through them faster. What are some of your favorites? Tell me.
I love labels. I'm a very visual person, so different color labels, automatically my eyes drawn to ones that are red because it suggests to me that it's an urgent issue and I definitely need to deal with that. Case routing is fantastic. We are all multi-trained in this business, so we all provide support. We can provide, and we all undertake a variety of different hats or wear a variety of different hats in the business. But case routing enables the more urgent cases to automatically get escalated to myself, so that I'm able to jump straight in and make that candidate or that client feel reassured that top-level management is listening to their concerns. Similarly, workflow, it just enables us to be much more productive, and that's one of the key things is productivity. We've always got 101 things that we need to be doing, but using labels, case routing, and workflow combined, it just makes my team and I much more productive.
Yeah, and something that is not shown here, macros, is one of the tools that our customers love. And for those of you on the phone that aren't familiar with the macro concept, basically it's just a shortcut that allows your agents to take multiple actions with just one simple click. So that, for example, if within an hour you're getting 10 of the same frequently asked questions from different customers at the same time, you don't want to respond to these cases individually. You want to be able to have a canned response and really have a shortcut dedicated to that. So, Rich, do you guys use macros pretty heavily?
We absolutely do. We have 2 favorite macros that usually relate to someone. Oftentimes we have an issue where people will copy and paste their resume into an email and send it to us. And that unfortunately is not compatible with our applicant tracking system. So we have a macro set up to request a Word or PDF format that gets used very aggressively in our business. Similarly, we also like to acknowledge people who are in touch with us with a personalized note. So we have a macro that we can then quickly tailor the name and who it's from and some additional points in. Again, that just improves the experience of the person interacting with our business. So there are 2 most popular macros that we use.
Nice. So everything that we've talked about is as good as it gets, only if you can report back on it. So Business Insights is one of our reporting tools. A lot of our customers are using it to evaluate and optimize the performance of their support organization, but also using it to make real-time business decisions. So, Rich, can you tell me how you're using our Business Insights tool?
Absolutely. So we don't just use it from a support aspect. We use it to really understand any wider issues that we have in our business. A good example is that we recently sent out an email marketing piece where the verbiage that was used in it was not very clear, and that actually led to an increase in the number of support tickets that were being opened by our candidates. They didn't understand the real content and what the purpose was of this email. So that was something that I was able to take up with our marketing team and address so that we don't have that going forward. Another example of how we use the insights here is if we see that there is an extended period of time with an agent resolving a ticket, then we can see that that's a training issue and that perhaps we need to revisit based on the statistics we're getting, how long it should take for that type of ticket to be resolved. So the great thing about using the Insights product within Desk is that if you actually go and look, you will find the information that you need to be able to make better informed decisions in your business and make sure that you're providing a great level of service.
Yeah, that's a great point. Our Business Insights tool is native within our app, so every interaction that you're having with customers is basically pulling real-time data within your Desk.com instance. And so it's good to hear that you think this report is really easy to use and the load time is quick. So those are some of the things that our other customers are telling us as well, the reasons why they love the reporting. And it looks pretty.
It does. And you can see from this graphic here, we had our uptick yesterday, and you'll see that out of the 136 cases, 99 were resolved straight off the bat. And I think that really speaks to the benefit of this product.
Yeah, perfect. So what about the mobile? I know you are probably a busy man. You're not always going to be at your desktop, but customer support should never stop. How are you using our mobile application?
I'm addicted to this. I think I mentioned to you in a prior conversation that I would not be surprised if I'm divorced imminently. I am addicted to the notifications I get on my phone and providing timely responses to customers, so clients and candidates. So I may be out to dinner, and it's just great to be able just to quickly respond to a message straight away and let a person know that we do value them and that we understand their concerns. It's great to have this ability that, I don't have to wait till I get back to the office to deal with something, or I don't have to get a colleague to deal with something. I can simply open my smartphone, go into the app, and deal with cases on the go. And a good example was yesterday I was stuck in the notorious Manhattan traffic for 50 minutes, and I was sat in the back of a taxi responding to tickets as they were coming in, making use of dead time.
Nice. How do you think your customers are reacting to how quickly you're responding? Do you think this is giving you a competitive edge compared to the other competitors that are out there?
Absolutely. I don't know many recruiting firms or staffing businesses that have team members who are dealing with support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And having this solution and having a mobile application, I could be on vacation if I wish, or I could be sat in a meeting or a train station, or any of my team members can. It makes them much more productive, and it gives us that competitive edge because the person is wowed by the fact they're getting a response at 10 o'clock at night, or not even that, they're getting a prompt response to their concern. If you set the solution up right and if you use macros and a range of other things, there's no reason why you can't make every customer feel valued, whether it's 1,000 people contacting you a day or whether it's 10 a day.
That's a great philosophy. I like timely responses, too. All right, so let's save some time for our attendees to ask you questions. Before we get to the Q&A section, though, we have our next webinar that's happening on October 1st. Feel free to sign up for this on our website. This is all about the perfect marriage between CRM and Desk. Okay, so without further ado, let's open the floor up for some Q&A. Let's see here if we have any questions. So no questions from our Twitter channel. We also don't have any via the GoToWebinar control panel. I guess one question came up during the presentation, and that is, what is considered a small support staff? Really, I think it depends on your use case, right? It's really, do you have dedicated agents that are dedicated to customer support? I know, Rich, I don't know how big your company is, but I think I heard that you're scaling up to 30 agents. But
that's correct, yeah.
Would you still consider yourself a small support organization?
I would, yeah. I think the technology allows us not to have hundreds of support staff. It depends, again, on the industry that you're in. We have a lot of interactions. We make a lot of outbound calls. We receive a lot of inbound calls. We have a lot of offices, but we're not a large organization. So I think, in general terms, if you are in the retail industry, you may have many, many, many more people. We picked this solution because I felt that it fitted. We can scale it to 100-plus people if we want, and it would still deliver on our expectations.
Perfect. So what about macros? Can they be triggered by keywords in the customer's email?
We haven't got to that point of implementing that, but my understanding is that yes, they can, and it's something that is the next step. We actually have just completed the rollout of our support portal, which is the customer-facing portal that came out of the box with Desk, and we're now looking at how we can start refining the support process that we provide to our candidates and our clients by using automation in more detail.
Yeah, that's a good transition to this other question that we received. Do you have a support website with knowledge-based articles and FAQs? So, yeah, basically this is just the help center on your public-facing website.
It is. We actually use your professional services to develop our site, which is support.212staffing.com. We actually have started adding content to that this week, but the great thing is that it's been skinned to look exactly like our website, so it's continuity of brand, and it's very powerful. Our clients and our candidates can open tickets directly from within it. They can update tickets themselves within the system, or they can use the email channel or any other channel, but the support portal really is going to be the go-to to get answers before they then need to ask a question.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So if you have your browser open, feel free to go to 212 Staffing's Help Center. You can also check out barkbox.com/help just to get a sense of how these help centers look, and all of these are powered by Desk. Also, something to note is that the knowledge that's powering the help center, that's public-facing, can also be used as your internal knowledge base so that your agents can also go in and look for answers. Okay. 212, have you built a Desk.com integration into your website? So I think go ahead.
We have the support portal that's set up directly just at support.212staffing.com. We haven't put it directly onto our website yet. The reason for that is that we're testing what type of channel, what type of interactions our visitors to our website are doing. Our website really is more of a brochure site directed at clients and encouraging them to place job orders with us. We are building out using another solution from Salesforce, the Communities solution, that the Desk support portal will become integrated into that. So it's part of a wider technology program that we're rolling out.
And also, have you seen any benefits after rolling out the Help Center? Are you seeing case deflection, just like the number of cases going down?
We're seeing that people, we don't have an actual company blog set up at the moment, so we have kind of been adjusting our use of the support portal to also include blog posts, and we're finding there's a lot of traffic going there for people looking for content on how to improve their resume or how to do a great telephone screening, etc. We have started putting common questions that we're asking, getting asked, and one of those is, a typical question we get is, how long should I have to wait till I hear back from a recruiter on a job application? So that has dropped our cases probably by about 30%. Just on that one topic being on the support portal alone. We have about 20 to 30 more pieces of content going up today and tomorrow, and then we'll be watching the metrics as to how that helps reduce the number of tickets that are getting opened.
Yeah, I think in addition to that, too, as customers, we are always the happiest when we can find answers ourselves during our own time. Yeah. Don't want to wait around for answers if it's just a simple one. Cool. So what about the phone integration? Is the phone integration done via IP-based phone services, or is this what TalkDesk and Twilio are doing for you?
So TalkDesk and Twilio basically integrate directly into Desk.com, and then we can have calls routed directly to a regular landline. They issue you with either a local or a toll-free number. So TalkDesk is the main controller for the integration for us. And the great thing is you can buy a number in any country, including local numbers and toll-free numbers. And you can route that to a cell phone, or you can route it to a landline, or you can just use a straightforward headset or speakers and microphone on your computer to be able to do that. So it's partial IP telephony and partial regular copper wire landline telephony.
Perfect. So we have an overwhelming number of questions, and we're actually at the top of the hour. What I can do, though, is forward all these questions over to Rich so that, Rich, if you have a few minutes after this webinar, just directly respond to some of our attendees' questions. But I've got a lot of them, so this is good sign.
Excellent.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much, Rich, for your time today. I learned a ton, and thank you so much for really sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone, for attending. We look forward to seeing you in future webinars. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.